Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be decorating for Halloween, and I was very excited because I have not decorated for Halloween. I did not decorate for Halloween last year, so I was excited to get my stuff out again and see what I had, but I had no idea what I wanted to do. I was just kind of going with what I had because I really honestly didn't want to go spend a bunch of money on Halloween stuff again this year. I just kind of wanted to use what I had. Honestly, just trying to save money for Christmas. But anyway, I was doing this above my kitchen table and I hung this hand down to make it look like a witch was cooking, like she was in the woods maybe, because I wanted this to look like it was sitting on the ground, like with what is sitting on top of my table. You'll see in a second when I point the camera down. But I just wanted to look like a witch was cooking, and I hung the hand to make it look like, oh, she was boiling a person or something like that. I don't know. And then I just put lights and sticks down to make it look like there was a fire. And then that witch pot I think is from Grandinroad. A year or so ago, 2 years ago maybe. And then I'm just adding those potion bottles and all those things around. And then I'm also hanging some crystals that I just hung on fishing line. I just ran fishing line through them and I just tie them onto the light. And then I'm also using that turf that I've used for Easter a few years, and now I'm using it for Halloween. And then I'm just adding those starburst lights that I use for several holidays. I use them for everything. And then I also put some disco balls up in the light because I wanted it to have more of a shine or like sparkly. To me, I have to have everything glittery and sparkly. But anyway, that's what I did up there. And also I put a gold skeleton in the light. I think he's from Grandinroad as well, a few years ago. So just doing that. And then I'm just sort of arranging the potion bottles and the glasses and the plates because I wasn't sure what I wanted to actually have on the table. It's funny when I have people come over and like to have dinner or anything like that. It's like, where do we sit? Because there's literally nowhere to sit in my house. When my mom comes over, she sits on my stairs and eats because there's no room at my table to eat. But I'm like, sorry. I know, it's sad, but whatever. So now I am in my living room. And I'm just putting the turf down. In my head, I thought I would do kind of the same layout I did for Easter, if you saw Easter. But it just was not working out for me. This took forever for me to do and figure out, because I thought I would put this garden arch in the center of the room with the witches and like do this whole display like centered around them. But it was just, they were too far in the center of the room and it just was awkward. And then I thought I would put this skeleton to make it look like he was crawling up the side. And then I was going to put another skeleton in the light fixture on the ceiling, which I actually did, but it just was weird. I just was not feeling it, and it was really top heavy, like with that black greenery and the skeleton. It kept wanting to fall over, so I also was trying to figure out how to keep it standing. And then I was also trying to figure out, when I thought I was going to leave it in the center of the room, like what to put around the bottom of the witches to make it look like a little scene or display or whatnot. So I'm just sort of messing around with those things, with the Mackenzie Childs pumpkins, and I don't know why I put that plant there. It looks terrible. But anyway, just sort of messing around with that stuff. And I'm horrible at filming. Most of the time the camera's not even pointing at what I'm actually doing. And when I look at the footage back, I'm like, what were you doing? I just, in the moment, like when I'm decorating, I like just don't think about the camera much. But so now I'm just kind of clearing out that side area because I thought that is where I would put the couch. And I thought I might put that werewolf like up behind the couch. I don't know why I put him on that table because it just made him way too tall. And then once I moved the couch over there, it was just way too crowded. Like between the garden arch and the couch, it was just too much. You couldn't even sit or do anything. It was just weird. So I ended up actually moving the garden arch witch display over in the corner where the couch was and put the couch where the witches are, kind of angled. You'll see later on. But anyway, now I'm putting together this clown that I thought I was going to put on my porch, but I ended up keeping him in the house. And I ended up putting him over by my stairs because I needed something to fill in the height because my ceiling's really tall in my living room. So I ended up putting him up on a table to kind of fill in that area. I thought I was going to put him right there when the witches were going to stay there, but since the witches moved, it caused domino effect on everything else. But anyway, so that's where the clown ended up. And then I was trying to figure out what to put with the clown, but everything was kind of weird. Because it's like a mummy doesn't work, a skeleton doesn't work. It was just kind of odd. So it took me a minute to figure out what I wanted to put with the clown. And to be honest, I was thrown off by the blue velvet chair and couch too. It was just kind of weird for Halloween, but I think I kind of toned the blue down a little bit. I threw some red fabric over it. But anyway, now I'm back trying to figure out what to do with the light. And I kind of want it to look like a skeleton was maybe reaching over and like to help the other one, like to pull him up or something like that. But I still kind of ended up doing that just from the other side because I moved that garden arch into the corner where that window is. And this light was a nightmare. I could not figure out what to do. I think I ended up taking it down 5 or 6 times. I lost track at some point. It was just ridiculous. I would put it up and I would just hate it. Like this, I thought I would make it look like a person like got wrapped up by a spider and like a cocoon or something like that. But it was just horrible. It just looked horrible. It was just like, what is that? Like, oh no, I don't know what I was thinking. So I ended up taking that down. And then I thought I actually did end up leaving that white glittery tree up in the light. I felt like it needed some more light up there and it kind of sparkles, so it gives it more of a glittery look when it was all done. And I also switched the light bulbs out to like those lights that look like a fire or like a flame kind of bulb. I just kind of liked them. It looked like maybe a little fire, just gave it more of an orange look. And then I also needed something that was attached to the light fixture so that I could run a cord to plug in that white tree. So that's why the skeleton, well, part of the reason why is because I needed him so I could hide the cord for that. And this is, I guess, kind of how the light ended up staying, maybe. I just did more greenery and floral picks in it. So now we're in the kitchen. I was just trying to figure out what I wanted to do on my bar cart. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. I wanted to put something in that Mackenzie Childs drink dispenser, but nothing was really fitting, so I think I ended up putting like a little ceramic ghost or something. Then I just put that black greenery up on the top of my cabinets. I did that on that side and on the other side. I didn't film myself doing much of the kitchen, but then I just added in some vines and some pumpkins, and I think I put a crow or something like that up there, and then a pumpkin on the other side. And I ended up hanging a Mark Roberts fairy kind of above the microwave there, like he looks like he was coming out of the cabinets or from the top. And I didn't really film that much from here on.